All right, Bandheads, welcome back. We are hanging with the Bandheads, and tonight on Hanging with the Bandheads, Kentucky State has a new head band director, Rodney Chisholm. We're going to talk about that. Next on the list, we have the National Battle of the Bands.
That's right.
Which bands impressed us the most? Bandheads has their reviews on that tonight.
Correct.
And next on the list, Jackson State. Will they remain on the top of the SWAC? After that, we have Texas Southern versus Prairie View, the Labor Day Classic. This historic battle between two great historically black colleges and universities has been awesome, and we are here to talk about it as well. And last, but certainly not least on our list, the SWAC rankings. Who's ruling the SWAC? We gonna find out tonight. Let's go. Okay, Bandheads, up first we have Kentucky State. The Thoroughbreds have a new band director. Again, I'm your boy J Law.
And I'm your boy A.A. Bachet.
And you are hanging with the Bandheads. That's right. So, Kentucky State has a new band director. That is crazy.
That is.
So what do you think about that?
One, I want to know what happened to the older guy.
Yeah. We want to know
that backstory out first.
Yeah.
That would be one thing. The second thing I want to know is Mr. Chisholm has been at a multitude of universities. So I want to know what's going to be the new direction that he takes K-State in. It's not saying they were in a bad place. They were actually in a very good, positive space. They were growing. They made a good name for themselves. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Right.
Perhaps from the controversy between the previous director and administration at the university. But I'm eager to see what this J-State alumni is going to bring to K-State.
Yeah. And this is not the first time they've had a Jackson State alumni.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I forgot the other band director that was there. I think in their inception, that band director came from Jackson State. But Kentucky State has given us quite a few great band memories, and we are looking forward to what Mr. Chisholm is going to bring to the table with him. So good luck to you, Rodney Chisholm. We give you the Bandhead salute. And have a great season, sir.
That's right.
That's right. Up next on the list, the National Battle of the Bands.
Review.
The review. Now, we were able to experience this firsthand.
We were.
Yeah.
We were.
So
I'm proud of that.
So before we talk about bands, I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Weber and his team for the awesome job they did of running a great event. I put on 2 Battle of the Bands. And you have been working with bands for quite some time, so at least a decade and a half now.
I put on at least 5 myself.
Yeah, and
a lot of consumption.
Yeah, it's very consuming, and trying to make sure people are here, trying to make sure people are there. So, and I remember I looked down at the call sheet, the writer, I guess what you call it, a writer of what was going on, and it said at 4:50 this was supposed to happen. Guess what? At 4:50 that happened. And I really appreciate Mr. Weber for having a great program and then also being on time and ending on time as well. So shout out to National Battle of the Bands and the Weber team for such an outstanding job and keeping us on time and also letting us get out so we can go enjoy the rest of our day.
Oh yeah, we in the culture are proud of you, Pepsi's proud of you, Houston is proud of you.
Yeah.
Everybody's proud of you. Please continue doing the good work that you do for us and our people collectively.
Yeah, we appreciate you for all that you do for college bands. So now let's talk about the bands.
Oh wow.
So what band stood out the most to you at the National Battle of the Bands?
Oh man. Okay, so you know what,
let's see if I can move out the way so they can see who you like.
You know what, Skeegee? You know what?
The Pied Piper Band.
I must say, I was thoroughly impressed by Tuskegee.
Yes.
You proved me wrong.
I did.
I did. Skeegee, you proved me wrong. I have to say, you came in. You had a lot of things going on right before your show, especially 2 massive titans going at it right before you got on the field. And that definitely could have took the attention off of what you were doing. I want to give a shout out to the band director. We will find out his name, his credentials, and everything later. But let me say to that program, you guys did an excellent job of entertaining the crowd. Regardless that this is not to be biased because I have my own favorites. At the same time, Jackson State and Southern were basically holding the crowd in a chokehold with their personal battle going on. You guys got on the field and completely erased that.
Yeah.
I think I will speak for me and my main host that You guys were very impressive.
Yeah,
for the size, they did excellent.
They did
They
excellent.
kept a really balanced sound.
Yeah.
The dexterity was extremely clean. Just a homage to Houston. You played a really smart game.
Yeah.
And that's really why as a band director, some of you have to know the demographic of where you're going.
Right.
And he did a very good job of that. The ballad was excellent. Skeegee, I got nothing, man.
Yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. You don't come to Houston doing stuff that's only popular in Atlanta.
True.
You don't do that. You don't come to Houston doing stuff that's popular in Baton Rouge or in Jackson, because they're not gonna get it. What you need to do is come here and do something that's universally popular, or do something that's popular in the city that you are in.
That's correct.
That's how you take the crowd. At least that's how we did it when I marched.
They were a good opener.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a very safe opening. They came in, they blew it out the water. They stuck to their guns. Which I'm really appreciative of, despite the monstrous talent that was surrounding them. Tuskegee still remained true to their roots and what their program is built off of, and they kept it going. Mm-hmm. So it's all good. Tuskegee, salute, man.
Salute. Okay.
Salute.
Next on the list, Tennessee State.
Oh,
what do you think about Tennessee State?
You know, I'm gonna let you take that one first. Go ahead.
I really wanted more from them.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a decent sound on the field. Field show wise, it was I would give them a B on the field with marching and execution of arrangements.
Okay. I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I'll say a little bit under B minus. Again, this is only because I'm looking at it from a different perspective, not being in that particular game, but being out the game and watching, giving more critiques. Yeah, I give it a B minus. The sound from Tennessee State is never terrible. They're definitely a clarity band. I've never heard them sound bad. I've heard, every dog has his day.
Yeah.
But Tennessee State consistently sounds good across the board. I just feel like the entertainment value slips them sometimes.
Yeah.
We all have those times where we're playing older music, just overall to complete the whole crowd setting, to make sure that everybody's satisfied.
Right.
I feel like they overdid it.
Okay.
They completely overdid it. The Footsteps in the Dark was very nice, but I really felt like it wasn't aristocratic bands enough. I feel like you guys have written so many great ballads that was one of the mid ones. If I can use that terminology correctly. It really was a mid ballad.
Okay.
And Footsteps in the Dark. It wasn't written badly. I just feel like compared to All My Life and the Casey and JoJo stuff they've done, it just couldn't compare.
Okay.
I feel like it just kind of just pulled it out the back of the library like, you know what, this is good enough.
Right. I could see that.
Yeah.
I wanted more from you, Tennessee State.
Yeah.
That dynamic contrast that you normally bring to ballads and how you just suck the audience in.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And they have to be there. They have to sing along. They have to be a part of that arrangement.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I didn't get that at the National Battle of the Bands. But let's move along. Prairie View. How do you feel about, now we're talking about field shows. We ain't talking about the stands, all that other stuff. We're going to talk about field shows here. Because the stands come later on, because we got to talk about that. Remember, we're doing the SWAC ranking.
Of course.
So, Prairie View on the field. When on the floor level, I saw a lot of good things. But once I was able to come back and watch the field show, I saw mistakes.
Okay.
And it was mistakes that you shouldn't see.
Of course.
Of course. Some things that they've done in the past that should be elementary to them. Just like
that's true.
In the SWAC, everybody should know how to do a step two.
Oh yeah.
No matter who it is. And then when you do a step two, you have to make what type of steps? 22 and a half inch?
22 and a half inch steps.
Steps,
Correct. And no matter if it's 8 to 5 flow drill, it's still a 22 and a half inch step.
Right.
And that's what they should have been executing.
Right.
I would say Prairie View's downfall for me, and it's not to just crap on them, it's basically saying, you got to get a hold of your announcer. A lot of times these things take a mind of their own.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the young lady for doing her due diligence and hyping Prairie View's crowd up. But at some point in time, let's think about the overall effectiveness of that. It kind of took away from what you guys were doing with the show. And so with that being said, I couldn't really enjoy the show from all the extra commentary.
Okay.
I do feel like there's a fine line between that. to where you have too much announcements, and then when you have too little where the crowd can't understand what's going on.
Right.
I felt like we were given too much information and not enough wonder to see what you guys were building.
Okay, so was it like I'm the announcer and this is the marching storm? Is that the energy you got from it?
Correct. I got it that, you know, and again, this is nothing personal towards the young lady. It's just how the field show came off. She's only doing her job. So it's an overall staff thing that they probably need to readjust to. But it's just minor adjustments. I would love to have been more interested in Prairie View's show.
Okay.
Watching it though, from what I seen, there was a lot of mistakes with marching. There was a lot of mistakes with music hearing from the side. And of course the dome covers up a lot. But us being band heads, band directors, professors of music, all these different things, we can understand and clarify and break down those little mistakes.
We see it.
It was kind of hard to focus on the overall effectiveness of your show due to the over talking of your announcers.
Okay.
So that, for me, Prairie View gets a C+.
Okay. Prairie View gets a C+.
I give them a C+. The sound was actually pretty aggressive for them.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. But overall, it's kind of hard to make out the show with all the extra talking that's going on. Okay,
and we can talk a little bit more about that when we get to the Labor Day Classic.
Of course.
So, speaking of the Labor Day Classic, who Prairie View went up against, Texas Southern. They put on the field show, and my opinion of it is I wanted more. I wanted more from them. Looking at what they did last year with the Pepsi and the Michael Jackson kids, I wasn't looking for really a stunt, but I was looking for more dramatics from them.
Yeah.
Because that team has been very creative in bringing awesome concepts to their field show.
Yeah. I saw Antonio Alexander is back there on staff. He came back for another year.
Yeah.
So they have a nice team. Everybody's there except for Mr. French. He's probably just busy at the moment with his own projects. I see that they're growing and going in a good direction. The band is definitely bigger, but I will say the band has lost some of its bulk, its mass as far as sound is concerned.
Okay.
It wasn't the thick sound that we got last year. Of course, things change. Maybe a big class left out, you know. But this is your first showing. And as we all know with impressions, your first impression usually ends up being the last impression. Texas Southern, I felt like, I needed more.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed more. I feel like, you know, in this kind of opportunity, we may not take Battle of Bands seriously, but I would definitely take this particular one that we have extremely serious. Yeah. That was an opportunity for you to put your foot on a lot of people's neck that you needed to. And it could very well through the season, if they don't buckle down a little bit on fine tuning, it could very well hurt their ranking and move them down in the bottom post. But we'll get back to that later.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
What's another band we have?
Okay. Another band we had there was Jackson State.
J-State. Okay.
I'ma say this: the ballad, I really liked it. I really liked it. The field show was very meh to me.
Yeah.
You know, it was mid, and this is no rivalry talk, and this is just me just saying there was nothing to the field show. The only hype part about the field show to me was the J5.
You know, I'm gonna be iffy on Jackson and Southern show, only because I felt like it was an immovable object. You know what I mean? Meaning an unstoppable force.
Okay.
And nobody wanted to show their hand.
Okay.
So I felt like both field shows was just, let me just get this done because we got real work to do during the season.
I hear you on that.
I just felt that energy. I mean, in the stands, they were very aggressive. But again, when you have 50, 60 songs in a book, you can waste 10 if you need to.
Yeah.
And you can always replenish them later during the season.
Yeah. But what I'm looking at is the marching.
Yeah.
On the sideline.
That's what I felt like the show was just, you know, it was safe.
It was safe.
It was safe.
Yeah. And I think that in the world where you have your great bands like Ohio State in their field shows, I need our HBCUs to step it up.
I agree.
I need them to step it up.
There's only so much Bill Moffitt you can do.
There's only so much patterns and motions that you can do.
Yeah.
And I need more. And that's not just directly towards Jackson State, towards all of the bands that I saw at the National Battle of the Bands. When it comes to field and design, I need more from you guys, because we can't keep doing what we did when we marched. We got to bring it to the next level. If you ask for the best band out there, no matter who you're talking about, they're going to say Ohio State.
That's true. That's true.
They're gonna say it because what do? They entertain the crowd, and they give them something pleasing to look at.
Oh yeah.
That's what we want as band heads and band fanatics. So bands do better. All right, another band at the National Battle of the Bands, Southern University.
All right, the Human Jukebox.
The Human Jukebox.
I'll start that one off. I think you start.
Yeah, go ahead. I've started off with nothing.
Yeah, so Human Jukebox. I love the energy. Unfortunately, just like Jackson State, I felt like the show was I felt like it was in between. I can give y'all a B plus, just like I would give Jackson, only simply because the consistency is always there between you two. I found a major mistake because Jackson, when they were doing that crosshatch drill, a lot of error. With Southern, for me, it's the irony of putting the standard and then having crooked lines while you spell out the standard. That's kind of hurtful.
Do better.
Yeah, you got to do better, man. And like, regardless of how you feel about the situation, you're always going to have a target on your back because of the legacy that Isaac Griggs has built for you, the legacy that Mr. J has put there, Mr. Knighton, Hamer, Simmons, and now Dr. Taylor. They are big shoes, and all these head directors are filling those shoes quite nicely. At the same time, I need the band to be on the same energy as their directors.
Right.
Because they can only teach so much. They can only nitpick and perfect so much. At the end of the day, it kind of takes the band to step up to where we are on that level. So for me, it was some adjustment issues. Like I said, B plus as far as their first performance, field show wise, it was nice. I know some things are outdated because we live in a more censored world, but I will say we gotta find something new other than the Fat Boys.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It's funny, haha, sometimes, homecoming.
Yeah.
But then that was like,
Yeah. And that may be one topic that we might have to address. Are dance routines outdated when it comes to HBCU marching bands?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, we can talk about that later. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. Who else did we have in the National Battle of the Bands? Miles College. First of all, shout out to Willie Snipes.
Yeah,
he gave us an interview.
Thank you,
gave us a great interview, and we appreciate that. Miles College, I just really wanted you guys to excel at this, exhibition for my marching bands.
True.
I wanted you to excel.
Yeah.
When I was down on the floor, right there in front, I didn't know that what had happened. But we had a whole company front that was off.
Yeah, on that field level, you can see
I think at least for 32 counts.
Yeah.
What is the squad leader doing?
It was a whole 2 squads that just kept marching.
2 squads that just kept marching.
Lack of preparation. Again, this is we count this Battle of Bands as a predecessor to the season.
Right.
So it's always good, directors, and I'm pretty sure you guys know this already. You have your degrees. You're very well versed in your talents and in your craft.
Right.
Everybody needs some outside ears from time to time, and that's what Bandhead here provides for everybody.
Yeah.
So all criticism is always, coming from a place of love, never to hurt the program whatsoever.
Never.
So just to give that disclaimer before we continue on with Miles or anybody that we could just continued on. So with Miles, man, I just felt like it was lack of preparation. I felt like they were too relaxed. You were in a spot with too many sharks in the water, and you drowned.
Right.
On the field, that is. On the field. It could have been better. The sound could have been better. The overall marching could have been better. Yes, they're young adults, young adults, but these are the times where we teach those young adults to have a little bit more responsibility, a little bit more morality on what they're doing. Just a lot of things could have been done better. I want to give them a C minus, maybe D plus. I feel like out of all the shows, it probably was not the best one out of everybody's presentation.
Okay.
The most mistakes, that is.
Yeah, I would say so. The Yolanda Adams tune, you were in Houston, and then you gave shout out to the you gave a shout out to the Queen of Gospel in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
I would say that, and
I don't know. I played the gospel scene a whole lot. I don't think Yolanda would have been happy with it.
I don't think she would have. I don't. And I'm trying to make sure this does not come off as petty, because it's not.
No.
But it felt like a lounge singer singing Yolanda's music.
Speak your mind, J-Lo.
And then, and I'm they're gonna come for me. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm old enough, you know, as long as they ain't contributing to my mortgage, it really don't bother me that much. But I really, I mean, she didn't sing. I mean, she sang it. Let's just leave it alone. Okay, who was next?
No, I approach it. The lady sung it, and it should have been done way better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because don't get me wrong, Miles. We're not just picking on you.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the Gateway Band soon enough. We're gonna get to them soon enough.
Oh, help us, Lord.
We're gonna get to it.
Yeah,
but it's just the overall execution of the song was great, but the singer was just.
A contralto should not be singing Yolanda Adams.
Yeah, Houston is a major gospel scene. For gospel artists, singers, the talent.
Gospel music workshop of America.
You can walk into a church here, and singers will blow your complete mind.
Yeah, I agree.
So like here doing Yolanda Adams, it's like doing Kim Burrell, man. Either you go hard or you go home. The song pick was awesome.
Yeah.
The singer was not a good choice.
Yeah, so good decision making by Miles on picking the song.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I like Randy off of American Idol.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog.
On to one of the next bands at the National Battle of the Bands, Bethune-Cookman University, not college.
Okay.
But I was frustrated because when they got up there, they said BCC. And I said, after all that yelling I did at Alex, they gonna turn around and do what I told him not to do. But it's okay. All right, so Alex calls them the Gateway Band. If you want to know why he calls them the Gateway Band, go watch the first episode. So we ain't finna go into that. But I'm gonna let you take it.
Man, Bethune-Cookman, as always, outstanding discipline.
Yes.
Outstanding.
Good sound.
Not a single soul budged the entire time. They adjusted. The directors were ready for them to go. They got on the field and were marching their tails off. To their style, that is.
Yes, sir.
Now, where Bethune-Cookman fell a little short, they did the same thing. You know, they kind of shuffled their little playlist of 10 songs during the field show. You know, I didn't hear Laylo this time, but they went to another oldie but goodie. But let me tell you, the Mooney Long, it just, I don't know. I mean, I saw her.
I'll take it from there. You want me to take it from there?
You know, friend, where have you been? Obviously not there to practice that song with Bethune-Cookman.
That part, but I'm gonna tell you this: band directors, if you're gonna get a celebrity, and we know celebrities have a very busy schedule.
Of course.
So Money Long cannot travel to Daytona to go practice with Bethune-Cookman. But what Bethune-Cookman can do is record themselves playing the song just like they do on the field, send that to Money Long so that she can adjust.
And maybe she had trouble hearing herself in the dome. I'm just gonna assume that she's never sung there before.
I don't want to interrupt you like that.
Okay, we go.
I don't want to interrupt you like that. But it wasn't an issue of her being off in regards to that. It was an issue of the song being chopped up a certain way for the band to play it. And she probably used to singing it straight down the way she sings.
The segment wasn't as the transitions were not as clean. They were definitely different from what she sings.
She was lost.
She made her money. She did.
She did her thing. So.
That's what ruined Bethune-Cookman's whole entire show. Now, don't get me wrong, the crowd was singing.
They was loving it.
It's like when Boosie came out. They didn't care that Boosie was 10 seconds behind the song. They just kept singing. You know, and it was the same thing with Money Long. It's like it just happened. Like, don't get me wrong, you could turn around and hear the whole stadium. Just singing this song.
But she was. I saw a little embarrassment on her face. I saw that, and I was like, wow.
So Bethune-Cookman, as flawless as you are with certain things, I gotta put you at a C for that. I feel like that was bad preparation. I feel like that, and that's unlike
you're harsh.
The judge himself, Dr. Wells. That's unlike him. You know, I'm not gonna say the King of the Ring is getting up there, he's getting seasoned, because he's a machine. But I am going to say somewhere down the line, there was a communication drop between Money Long and the BCU band. That's what I'm going to say.
Let's go Wildcat. Did we miss anybody? Who else is left?
We got Tuskegee, we got Texas Southern, we got Southern University, we got Jackson State, the Sonny Boom in the South, we got Miles, the PMM, Purple Marching Machine.
We did Tennessee State.
We did Penn State, and we did Prairie View, the Marching Storm.
And Bethune-Cookman.
And Bethune, that was everybody.
Yeah, that was 8 bands right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Later.
And we're back, Bandheads. All right, next on the list.
Oh yeah, the Bandhead Network culture best band news source brings to you the Sonic Boom. Will they remain the king of the ring? And all you need to know about band score, but that's later on. But right now we're going to touch on the Sonic Boom and their dominance from last year bleeding over into this year and what we think about that and the expectations we have for them. We're going to give some like prerequisites, some things we're trying to get done, but also we're going to see if they're going to stay at the #1 spot. Right now, honestly, I'm just going to start it off, Law. I don't know. It's a 50-50.
Okay.
I will say from the National Battle of Bands, man, those trumpets from goalpost to goalpost, those trumpets were extremely strong.
Okay.
Extremely strong.
Okay.
I haven't heard a Jackson State with those kind of strong trumpets for at least 4 years. They've been really lower brass heavy, especially in the tuba section. Dog team has been barking.
Yeah.
But this year, maybe they just changed the balance, because I don't want to say that they lost the power with the lower brass, because trombones are always hidden. Saxophones are always very clear. But those trumpets definitely were the star of the show. The entire performance. On the field, in the stands, Jackson State has a very, 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 very strong trumpet presence, and that has missed a lot in the SWAC for at least the past 5 years.
And when
trumpets and mellows have been very scarce in certain areas.
When you look at it, it goes through phases. When you look at instruments,
it does.
Because going from the 90s to the early 2000s, it was all about trumpets. It was all about trumpets. Trombones have always had they've always been midway with their popularity.
Agreed.
With their popularity. I don't think it's ever been a trombone heavy year for a lot of bands like you've seen with baritones, or you've seen with tubas. Or even with F horns at one point, or trumpets. But yeah, I think that Jackson State has a very good trumpet sound. I think that their execution is phenomenal.
True.
I think their execution is phenomenal. When we're listening to the arrangements and hearing the voicing of the instrument, I think they do a good job of projecting that. Now, are there some sections that need a little help?
Of course.
Yeah, I would think so. I think the mellows.
There's been an ongoing thing with Jackson State for years.
Okay.
Like before this, in the 80s, they wasn't really just a heavy mellow band.
No.
In the 90s, no, mellows were spotty. And when I mean spotty, like, they have written certain parts for the mellows to stick out because the trombones and the trumpet section was so massive.
They only had like 5 or 6 at times, though.
Really? I gotta look. We search some of that.
I remember
they had like 10,
them.
12.
Yeah, maybe that.
But later on, I have to give it to Dr. Little though. He's completely. He hasn't changed the sound of Jackson State. He's refined it.
Okay.
He's refined it. They sound really angry this year.
Okay.
I will say on those stage, they sound really, really angry, like aggressive, like they are upset about something. I don't know what they upset about.
I don't know what happened on Lynch Street. Maybe the potholes are still there.
Maybe. I'll be mad too if my Tahoe, and lineman went off. But I gotta give it to Dr. Little.
Yeah.
He has groomed and grown a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Will they remain king of the ring? I'm going to go with 70% yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say 70% yes, being the only two that might get in their way would be Texas Southern and Southern University.
Okay.
I believe those would be problem spots.
Okay.
Seeing when they play them, we got to look on the schedule again, what time of day, who's playing who in what area. Like I know the boombox is in
next
Jackson,
week.
right?
Next week.
And it's really early.
Yeah.
That's really, so you're getting fresh bands like, this is just week 2.
Yeah, this is not fair for that game to be right there. But I mean, because of how they laid out the SWAC, though, that's how we have to deal with it.
So does that mean preparation is key in this point of view?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So also, I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Jackson may not have wanted to give out a lot of their showstoppers at the Battle of Bands.
Okay.
Because Southern is being played so early, and you're playing such a big rival or opponent coming up this early in the season, you got to have your A game.
Right.
Because Taylor's not going to play that.
No.
He's not going to play that.
He seems a lot more focused this year.
The band was more focused. I wish you guys could have seen the reaction between, they called Southern University, they called all the other bands, and everybody got up and cheered, the band members got up and cheered. It said Southern, nobody moved a muscle.
Nobody moved.
Everybody was just looking straight across the field at Jackson State. It was daggers.
Yeah.
The whole way it was curtains. See?
Yeah.
It was curtains.
Yeah.
That's what it was, Muggsy. Yeah. That's what it was.
Wow.
That's what it was. And they was ready. Shout out to Kenna Collins.
Yeah.
Professor Todd, excellent work. I see Professor Todd has adjusted well.
Yeah.
To Southern University.
Yeah.
Started off a little rocky, being honest.
Yeah.
And then now, man, 2 thumbs way up, brother.
Yeah.
2 thumbs way up.
Stay focused.
I think it's a really good staff.
Yeah.
I think it's a really solid team. But as far as Jackson State go, I'm gonna give them a 60 to 70%. They're gonna stay on top of King of Ring.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is too early for Southern to go against Jackson. And if I'm looking at preparation from the Battle of Bands, I would roll with Jackson State overall first before I roll with Southern.
Okay.
But yeah, that's me. What do you have?
When I look at it, if we're talking about just stands, I probably have to agree with you at that point, because those trumpets just give it.
Yeah.
Those trumpets just give it for Jackson State. If we're looking at stands and field, I really wish I could have went over this when we were talking about the National Battle of the Bands, but the Dancing Dolls did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
I'm so sorry we overlooked you, ladies.
They did a great job, and that's what kind of took their field show over the edge for me. Their Dancing Dolls did such a great job.
Their seamless transitions have never just been as flawless as they were at this Battle of Bands.
But yeah. Okay, we're back, y'all. Sorry, we had a little interruption. The Dancing Dolls.
Yeah.
But my point was, the J sets.
We had a little technical difficulties. Just hold on. The Pied Piper bands have just pulled up in front of the studio. So we are going to consult with them. I believe they're angry about their nickname. We'll have the lawyers deal with that.
All right. I'm ready. Okay. So back to my point. When we're talking about Jackson State, I was thinking about the J sets.
Yeah.
And
the overall effectiveness. But the Dolls seem to have the upper hand.
Yeah. When it came to that.
Shows why we have to give it to Southern.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. But again, we're talking about Jackson State. Will they remain king of the ring?
Oh yeah.
Will they remain on top? Only time will tell. So, I would say their biggest battle is coming up in a week from now.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I don't see anybody else that they would see as their biggest competition coming. Other than that, you got Texas Southern next on list, and then third on list, you got Alcorn that would be there, for them, because that's the biggest, that's a big Mississippi battle for them. But you don't want to sleep on Mississippi Valley and what they're bringing to the table, because it's like, whoa,
we'll get to it.
We'll get to that.
But
we'll get to that.
Next on our topic list, what we have here, Labor Day Classic.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
here we go.
My geez.
Wow, the Labor Day Classic has been going on for quite some time.
Very much so.
Yes, sir. You got the Texas Southern, Ocean of Soul, who visited the Prairie View A&M Marching Storm. So I'm going to give you a rundown of the game, how everything went, and then we're going to talk about it.
Shoot for it.
Okay, Prairie View marched in, it started raining. It rained on the storm. So they got in the stands. Texas Southern was still in their bus while it was raining. I don't blame Mr. Simmons or his staff, because wet instruments and wet uniforms are become very expensive. Texas Southern came in, and we went to all of the pregame celebrations. You got the flag on the field. You got all of that going on. Then the game starts, and we didn't get a lot from bands. We got mostly spirit songs. When Texas Southern scored, we got a song to celebrate, and they sounded pretty good.
Okay.
Coming from across the field. If you go and watch the live stream that we provided here from Bandhead Network, you'll be able to see that they were projecting and coming across the field very well. Prairie View, when they opened up, I started to hear some things. I went and talked to the band director. I said, hey, the mellows sound a little weird, can you work on that? Just tell them, because that's what you're supposed to do as a band director. You're supposed to fine tune the machine even while you're performing.
Of course.
When you're in front of the band, that's what you do. So
we know it's showtime, but there's there's no time limit on perfection. You know, sometimes you have to adjust on the fly.
Right. Sometimes you have to. So yeah, they so you know, Prairie View, that's how I went. And then we came to halftime. We got about the same that we got at the National Battle of the Bands. I'm not talking about what they did. I'm talking about how it came across to us as fans and band heads.
Did Prairie View do the same show?
It seemed like they did. It seemed like Prairie View did.
And Texas Southern switched it up?
Texas Southern, they did switch it up.
Yeah.
There were still some uniform issues.
Yeah.
There were still some uniform issues.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you got to work on it. So, how do you fix the uniform issues? We'll talk about that once we get through running down everything.
Of course.
Then the game went back into session. Now, Prairie View, shout out to you for dialing your announcer back a little more than she has been in the past. It seemed like she gave the band room to breathe when it came down to their execution of their field show. Okay? So, shout out to that. The trash talking was aplenty. So when they had the microphones, they was able to do what they needed to do. And then you go to the third and the fourth quarter. You got some fanfares, but mostly drum sections going back and forth. And then we got down to the fourth quarter, and both bands kind of started shutting up. I guess they knew that their chops would not make it through the fifth quarter, and so they dialed it back.
Could be the SWAC script. I've seen both.
Could be the SWAC script. But there's a way. Shout out to Clarence Gibson for being one of the ones to be able to play in between those spots and always give you something.
Oh yeah.
I really, that's one thing I've always noted about him that he was able to do. He give you those little short 10-second ditties, and then he jump in and jump right out of it. No ditty on that ditty. And then we got down to the fifth quarter, and that's where things got pretty interesting. So, I want your take on the fifth quarter.
Oh man, it's gonna be a rough ride.
Oh, I'm here for it.
It's gonna be a rough ride.
I am here for it.
At the end of the day, let's start backwards. I have to give the win to Texas Southern.
Okay.
Not because I'm an alumni of Texas Southern University and of the Ocean of Soul myself, but simply because they were just a better band.
Oh.
They edged out Prairie View once again by getting in their head with song selection. We cannot keep losing like that, Prairie View. That's just a word to the wise for the directors, the staff, whatever you need to. Some things you have to, like during a battle, you have to cancel their lead and start your own lead. If Simmons throws a ballot this way and you know you have nothing in your book to compete with that ballot, don't go with the plan, change the style. Change the genre. I'm not going to do a battle. I might do a rock song. Or I might do something poppy and fast. Change the outcome of the battle. I want Prairie View to stop being followers of a battle and start learning to cut.
That was popping in my head. Keep going.
Start cutting through those things that are going on at the current moment.
Right.
It really has to be worked on. I really feel like there's a lot of things that you guys could approach differently. Texas Southern and Prairie View. Like Texas Southern, I think you got about 30 trumpets. I think so.
Okay.
I think 30. High 20s.
I didn't count.
I'm gonna say the high 20s. Trumpet presence has to be better. Has to be better. Preparation sound wise, yeah, some of the songs were extremely done correctly and it was executed correctly. And then some really lackluster Texas Southern. Really lackluster. Excuse me. Pardon me. Then you have the Prairie View Marching Storm. The sound clarity was good. Now don't get me wrong, neither one of these bands had crappy sound. None of them have crappy sound, not at all. I think we're having an issue that could be possibly, it could just be possibly that it was a lot of excitement, it was a lot going on, and again, lack of preparation is what I saw.
Right.
You had Texas Southern playing
Blame It on Alcohol?
Blame It on Alcohol.
Okay.
Love the song. Love the approach to it. I love the dynamic contrast of the song. I love what the arranger did to it to make it exciting to a crowd, because there's not a lot of stuff in the song.
Right.
They really did an excellent job. My only critique with that is way too long.
Okay.
Way too long. Some songs I feel like we do a little too much. We don't have to be so intricate to the point to where this is you know what I mean? Give me the paragraph. I feel like Blame It on Alcohol was a novel.
Oh.
I lost interest after y'all cut off with the high mellophone and trumpet part solo by itself. That was impressive. I would have left it open-ended.
Yeah.
That's opinionated.
Yeah. That would have made me want more.
Yeah. That's not saying that the arrangement's bad. I'm just saying, like, I felt like it was a what's the song that Simmons wrote right before he left Southern? It was by Outkast. It was by Outkast, Erykah Badu, CeeLo Green. It's a fine line between love and hate, and baby, I want it. I can't think what it is.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah. So whatever it was, motivation or something like that. Whatever it was, I felt like it was written just like that in that format.
Okay.
And when they cut off, they should have left it off.
Right.
Left it at a question mark. But you continued with the trumpet run, and it showed your weak spot. It showed your weak spot. Prairie View tried to adjust. Unfortunately, them playing JoJo's Bizarre or Didorio's theme, it didn't go over well.
Yeah.
It didn't go over well.
If you do that, you have to do that at a point where you're leading the battle.
Yeah.
You have to do that. If not, then you got to get the crowd back on your side.
Yeah. Slowing that tuba part down to like a little of nothing, it hurt. It hurt. You heard all the mistakes come right out the end at that part where you had where you just had the bird's eye for your band holding, and then you had your conductor conducting those triplets for the tuba. Why do I know the music like that? Because Hum used to play it. So, and that was another mistake. I think we all moved past colleges playing summer band arrangements.
Okay.
Was it better than the previous people who played it before? I don't know. And that's coming from a person who helps with the organization, run the organization. That's really iffy.
Oh wow.
That's really iffy. Just being honest. Here at Bandhead Network, we are unbiased.
Oh,
in all costs.
Extremely.
So even with our own situations, we are. And I just felt like if you're gonna do the song, do it better, especially if you have the preparation time to get it done. Like, I just felt like that was a bad pick at song. It was a lot of bad picks throughout the fifth quarter for Prairie View. So I want to say song selection hurt them more than anything. With Texas Southern, what was hurting them was bad phrasing at times.
Okay.
I feel like the phrasing wasn't together yet. So it's not saying that they missed it. I'm just saying they're not in the shape that they were last Labor Day Classic.
Okay.
Last Labor Day Classic, the stamina was great, the dexterity was great, the articulation was great, the song selection was on point, and nobody's perfect.
Right.
But I really feel like this time there was a lot of lacklusterness going around.
Okay.
You know,
I can see that.
And that could possibly be from lack of preparation. We're gonna use that word a lot.
Yeah. That's a popular word this year.
Yeah.
With us.
I feel like it just needs to be attached to it. But if I have to give a winner, I give mine Storm. I give the Storm a loss, barely. I give Texas Southern 5-2.
5-2.
5-2.
I was thinking.
I might give 5-3.
I was thinking 4-3.
4-3.
Yeah, I was thinking 4-3.
I gave them a slight edge because it was some things Texas Southern just expanded on. Their exciting arrangements are great. Prairie View has the sound, but not arrangement. So they're both missing pieces.
Right.
And when I'm looking at those programs, even though these are between these two lovely programs, I don't think they would stand a chance against the number 1 and number 2 giant.
No, I don't either.
I don't think it would work.
No.
I just don't think so. I mean, you can have all the spirit you want, all the guts, the heart. At the end of the day, man, the little things. I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah,
the little things matter.
No Jackson State intended.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
J-Law, I believe it's your turn. I believe it's your turn, J-Law.
Yeah, I really, like I said, I enjoyed the battle. There were some times that Prairie View lulled me in the middle of the battle. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, so what are you gonna give me? What's exciting that's coming out of that corner over there? And I was on the 50, so I heard both bands equally. And Texas Southern, the energy was just higher for me than it was from Prairie View.
Of course.
Yeah. So hopefully we see both programs expand and expound on some of the things that we talked about today, and we can see a different product the next time we hear from them.
Yeah. Now, disclaimer. Me and J Law are simply just giving observations from what we've seen. You have your own opinions. We have ours here at Bandhead Network. We try to be professional as possible. We are always professional as possible.
Yeah.
So, good kids, do not take offense to this. Just know there's places and room for you to grow, like we all have in life. But overall, Prairie View and Texas Southern are really extremely good bands. But we're only comparing them to everybody else that's in the conference. And unfortunately, there are other bands that are even more extreme and more better than what these two are at the current moment. And again, in the SWAC, anything can change.
Anything can
any
change.
weekend. Because I've heard Texas Southern be like this, and then the next week, it's like mid-season for them. And the same thing with Prairie View. So time will only tell. But as far as what happened on that particular day, those rankings I'd rather stay the same. Number 4 and number 6. I think those are pretty even.
Oh, number 4. I just noticed that. Let's put it back on the screen.
Put it back on.
You got number 4 versus number 6. Wow. Okay. Well, and to kind of, I don't know what to say about that. And kind of to echo on Alex, if you're a current member of either band, what you should do, if people have something to say about your program, one thing I learned from a pastor that I heard he preach a message, he said, if you get a piece of chicken, eat the meat and leave the bone.
Yeah.
So take the good things we're giving you and leave what you don't like, but just understand if we're saying it, somebody else is saying it. So work on it.
Of course.
You know, take personal pride in the program that you're marching in and show us that you can raise it to the next level.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And finally, on our list, SWAC ranking system. The hottest hit critiques and smack talk this week on Bandhead Network, right? Confused about how to rate your favorite band and also dislike band? Well, can't decide who won your favorite band battle? Well, Bandhead Network might have the solution for you, and we're going to have a couple of those coming up. But we're going to give our ranking predictions right now, and then we'll slowly explain from episode to episode as you guys love and support us, and we love and support you as you click subscribe on what exactly we could do to make this show better. But definitely we want to get these ranking systems down so that we all can have the same system, and so bands can have a better experience, an overall better critique system, so we can kind of be more respectful with our critiquing. Okay. Because these guys work hard.
They work hard.
To the late night, midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You can hear them when you're coming out the club. These kids are spending their hard-earned time and money to master their craft. And we don't just want to blindly give criticism and try to hurt them. Because at the end of the day, when you were in those programs, or you were watching the program, you wanted people to give you constructive criticism and not just tear you down. Right. And so that's what Bandhead Network is trying to provide for these bands. But so as far as our ranking system, Dr. Law, who do you have? What do we have? 10 bands in the SWAC?
We have 12 bands in the SWAC.
I forgot about BCC. BCU.
He did it again.
BCU.
Oh my goodness.
And the Rattlers.
And the Rattlers. Yeah.
Oh man.
From what I've seen so far, I don't think I can accurately give it because I've only seen maybe 8 of the 12 bands. Okay. Let's see. I've seen Cookman, Texas Southern, Prairie View, Southern, Jackson State. I have not seen Alcorn except for a good Golden Girl clip, and that was good. It was decent from what I heard. Number 1 and 2 are still open to me right now. Okay, so I'll give that to Jackson State and Southern, number 1 and 2. Number 3, I would say possibly Alabama State. Alabama State, yeah. Number 4, from what I've seen and heard sound-wise, and field execution, I would probably give it to FAMU. All right. Number 5, and I'm gonna just go my top 5. I'm gonna just do that. Number 5 is going to be Texas Southern. Gotcha. Texas Southern. Gotcha. Yeah. I'll give you even number 6 and 7. I think number 6 can go to Pine Bluff this year. Really? They have moved up in the rankings.
Yeah, I witnessed the Dallas.
Yeah,
Pine Bluff almost cost people sleep.
Yeah, Pine Bluff almost gave somebody some problems in Dallas, and I just think that Pine Bluff gets a few better arrangements and get some more energy from that band. They can be real dangerous. They have good instrumentation this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'm gonna start. I'll just give all straight 5. And maybe number 6. Number 1, I'm gonna stick with Jackson State. I'm gonna ride the wave this year. I'm gonna get me a boom hat and put it right there. Put it right there.
It's gonna get burnt up coming in this house.
We never know. I'm gonna roll with the almighty Sonic Boom of the South for number 1. I'm gonna keep rolling on that train. Okay. I feel like Southern will be number 2. of course. I feel like number 3, FAMU. I feel like number 3 deserves FAMU. Now, Bethune-Cookman, don't kill us. I just feel like FAMU is a more entertaining group with more diverse field shows, and as consistent as Bethune-Cookman is, it has to be some just something that differentiates you from everybody else, or even from your previous show. You know, I don't want to feel like, you know, like you play that kid and keep spamming the B button. Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing the same move till I win. I'm gonna just keep sweeping until I win. And that's what I feel like Bethune-Cookman does a lot of times. Yeah. Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg. You do it, Danny. You sweep the leg.
Oh,
you know?
My goodness.
But like I said, Jackson State University, first, Southern University second, third, the Almighty Rattlers.
Okay.
Want your 100 themselves.
Let's go.
That's right. That's what we got, okay? Fourth, Texas Southern University here in Houston, Texas. Fifth place, I will have to say I'm gonna roll with Alabama State.
Alabama State.
Alabama State. I can't wait for Texas Southern and Alabama to match up. Sixth, I'm gonna say Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
And I know that sounds crazy. Some people are like, you know, that's nuts, best Shane. That is completely out of control. Yeah. You know Bethune-Cookman sounds great. They do sound good.
But what's new?
They're boring.
What's different?
They're boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If I can go get a hot dog from the stand and come back and take a nap in the car and not be worried about what's going on, I think you need to find more entertainment value. But my boy Kedrick Redding is over there, so I'm really excited. Yeah. I want to make a trip down to Daytona and see what's going on. Yeah. I want to make it. We got to make that trip.
Yeah. Oh, you think so?
I can get a personal interview.
That is far, bro.
Hey, man. We can go to Disney.
We can go to Disney.
We can go to Disney while we're there. Okay. We can hit Disney one day and call it a day. So those are my 6. I don't want to go further down the list until we get our ranking criteria ready. But I do want to give you some couple of ideas, and you guys can put in the comments.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about our ranking criteria.
What you think could happen. So this is some of the stuff that we got from other members, other subscribers here on Bandhead Network and the ranking system. So one, execution, right? The skill in performing a task, especially with hands, right? His dexterity or chops or execution was perfected. So execution would be one, tone quality would be another, okay? Song selection would be on the list as well. Overall effectiveness of the band, right? Dynamics is number 4. Drill precision, because it's not just stand band, we're on the field, right? We have to have that. I think 6 is posture. We do have to understand that posture is very important. I'm pretty sure all of us are musicians, and we're taught that from day one until we get out of band. Yeah. You know, posture is important.
We hold the horn, we're not playing down to the floor.
Yeah, the ants don't want to hear you, baby. I do.
Okay? I need that horn to be slightly tilted up when you're playing.
Horn carriage. How people carry their horn when people are not playing, when you're at attention, that matters. No slouching, you know, your tube is here or your trump is here, however your particular program has it, all right? Crowd effectiveness, because at the end of the day, our bands only exist because our fans love them. Right. The only reason why we come to the game and we keep getting support is not just for team morale, but it's for crowd morale. It sells tickets just like the football game does. Right. Because let's be honest, we're not in the Big 10 or Big 12. Right. So a lot of these games are sold from the bands. Right. And that makes a big difference. So that crowd effectiveness makes a big difference. Uniform presentation. That's a new thing we're adding on, but I feel like we need to get back to that. Yeah. How you look in uniform, is everybody seem the same way? Are their jackets on correctly? Or
are your pants to the second button on your spats?
Is the overlay good, or is the white and not eggshell?
Is it clean?
Is it clean? Do your nursing shoes, or they have the polish on them, or you've been kicking concrete and dirt in them? So it depends on what you have done. Your uniform presence is good. Energy. Nobody likes a boring band. Nobody likes a boring band. If I'm playing highest in the room and we're just standing there, yay, you know, that doesn't make me excited as a newcomer to join that program. Energy is really important, especially to this new generation of musicians. Energy and how it transfers to other new students, that's very important. And that's number 10. Number 11, uniformity. How you look on the field. Is everybody doing 22.5-inch step? Are we doing 90s, 85, 75, 65? Or are we marking? You know, that makes sense. Are we putting our horns up at the same time? Are we yelling ready, 2, 3, 4 at the same time? Are we screaming out our chant coming out the hole, right? Are we giving the support? Are we doing the dance routine fully out? That. Okay, auxiliary and dance presentation.
That's a big one.
That's 12.
That's a big one.
Okay.
That's a lot of things, bro.
I know. But we're gonna do scroll down. Again, it's for you guys at Bandhead Network, our subscribers, our followers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button wherever it is on that screen, okay, and subscribe to us so you can give us an insight on how we should dwindle this down to 5 categories. Should we make these subcategories? Should we put them underneath 5 big things so we can have a point system of 25? We're going to let you decide, because at the end of the day, the people only matter. Right? Without the people, these bands don't exist. They don't get supported. They don't come see you. So give positive feedback so we can have these groups come out, right? So those things, the auxiliary and dance presentation, I want to elaborate on that just a little bit. So a lot of times we look at the bands, we look at the field shows, and we overlook the dancers and how important the flags, the twirlers, how important they are to the overall color of the presentation. Like take Prairie View and Texas Southern, we just watched. They both have flag teams, right? Overall, if you look at their field show, the flags add a bit of a flair to the show when they're standing still, so it keeps a constant motion going on. I like that about them. Norfolk does the same thing. FAMU does the same thing. You know, some people have twirl, like Jackson State. We used to have twirlers twirling fire. It was very, 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 very colorful, very nice, and overall effectiveness was good. It gave you something different to watch other than the J-sets. You know, now the only team I know that is consistently by themselves are the Dancing Dolls. But again, they have perfected a system to where
you're not looking for flags.
You're not looking for flags. That's all the twirler you need. And again, that's their style. So that's why I said auxiliary / dancer presentation, right? So you guys tell us what you would like. Again, like and subscribe. That's all we want you to do. Comment as well. You know, all feedback is great feedback with us. Those are our 12 points for just criteria of bands and how we would judge them. And again, sometimes it gets a little negative. We're bandheads. We all got that fight in us. You know, it happens. It happens. But you know, at the end of the day, we have to do something like constructive. Constructive for our kids, because they're growing. They're trying to learn more. So the best way is to get somebody to grow is pick one and teach one. I don't think we can do that in a positive way, in a very compliment sandwich way, and still get that done. But my predictions, I'm keeping with that. I'm rolling with JSU. You know what to do. That's what I'm rolling with.
I think that's a very good SWAC ranking. Hey, drop your SWAC ranking down in the comments and let us know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Bache? Or do you have your own list? Break it down for us. So that's how we're looking at the SWAC. Next time on Hanging with the Bandheads, we're gonna go into detail on this listing, on how to rate bands. We're gonna take this list and we're gonna fine tune it so that by the end of the year, you'll know why we picked whatever band is the top band over all of the bands in the SWAC.
That's true. We'll also be touching on Craigmont and Central High School's battle they had. Epic high school battle. It's been getting lots of reviews. I've been getting lots of text messages for us to go back and look at that battle and give you a personal critique. I got at least 46 text messages asking about it for my previous thing. So thank you guys for sending those notices. Craigmont has been on the list of high-level Omega bands, like really on the dangerous side of the list. And Central is quite a quiet band. If y'all don't know who Ali Liddell is, it's Dr. Liddell's son from Jackson State, aka Bluto, the old band director, or the old head band director of Jackson State. He plays no games, and his son doesn't either. Extremely clean band, extremely good band. I believe that the two respect each other to the utmost, and they had a wonderful battle. After reviewing it 4, 5, 6, 7 times, I could not stop rewinding parts about that battle. Very consistent groups, and I think what we'll do is we'll have that on our list as well.
Okay. Most definitely. So, yeah, it has been quite the day today.
Yes.
We've been talking band news. If there are topics that you have that you want us to discuss here on Hanging with the Bandheads, send them to your boy. You can inbox me on Instagram, you can inbox me on Facebook, or drop it down in the comments. So we appreciate you guys for watching. It's been a great day.
It has.
I've had a good time.
I have too.
We've been talking band. It's your boy J Law
and AA Bache.
You've been hanging with the Bandheads.
That's right.
I'll see you
later.